Yes, I just finishing building my FPV finally, and got the OSD device put in there. So I want to do a quick video just to put it onto the forum, just to show anybody that might be interested in getting to FPV itself. It's actually very easy to do. It took me about, like, realistically 6 months of gathering parts, trying it out, and get it going, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. And you can look up some amazing YouTube video that show what FPV can do. It's really good stuff. I think it's the future of RC plane. Anyway, so I'm building my FPV platform on the Parkzone Radian. It's a trusted, trial glider that can carry some weight on their payload. A lot of people use a bigger, like the Skywalker, but they're a lot bigger than what I want. I want something that can smaller. I can just toss into my car, put it together at the view, and toss it and go. And I trust Parkzone. Also, it's a 3-channel glider, so all I have is the rudder and the elevator, which is controlled by the tail. So I have other channel remain to control the camera for tilt and pan. So here's the camera. What I use is the FatShark camera, the pan tilt. You can get that from Hobby King. It's around $50. Great device. Comes with a microphone on the side right here. It's actually a stereo microphone. Get about, like, very clear picture. No complaint there. The wire connect to, which is the most important component right here, which is the transmitter for the video and the audio, and in my case would be the GPS coordinate and the in-flight data too. So I'm using the FatShark. It's made by FatShark, same company. It's called Immersionrc. It's a 600 milliwatt, 5.8 gigahertz system. You gotta make sure you use a different frequency than the radio you're using, right? If you're using 2.4 Spektrum radio, you have to use a 5.8 gigahertz video so that you don't have interference, right? You gotta remember, the higher milliwatt, the longer range you're gonna get, or vice versa. You can go on to a 900 megahertz and get a 1 volt. If you go really long range, you want longer range than that. You're really looking at maybe a 1.5 gigahertz and 1.5 volt range. So right here, we have here, and we're gonna flip the glider up here. I don't intend on going really long range right now. So what I have is I just have a regular Spektrum 7000 receiver for redundancy right here. Maybe getting a kilometer out of it. I don't intend to go any further than that for now. If I do want to go into the 25 kilometer, 50 kilometer range, I'll get the Dragon Link system. So inside here, it's really all the heart of the FPV system. It's the front. You gotta remember too, you gotta rebalance the CG of the glider because you're adding a lot of equipment. You're changing a lot of system up. So the CG is very important because now it's very front heavy. So right now I've balanced it. The great thing about it, Radian too, is the Radian is already come tail heavy. So after adding all these equipment in front, it actually balances it out. It's not too bad. So first thing is the Radian came with a 1300 milliamp Lipo, and I upped that to 2200 milliamp. Originally I have a double power system. Like I have right here, I have the smaller Zippy 1000 milliamp. Originally it goes right here, which power the camera system. But the extra weight here really throw the CG off, so I have to take that out and basically just go for one power system. It works. CG is a lot more important than weight and being light and whatever redundancy. It's just very important to get the CG right, especially for FPV. And right here is also the servo for the camera. That's doing the pan right there. I found that design on the internet, and someone did this, and it works very well. So the first thing is you look at this. It's called an OSD. It's what give you the on-screen display, your altitude, your relative coordinate, like where you are, wind speed, temperature, all kind of fun. You really have to have this for FPV. Like, you can try just go to your local park and just go FPV without the OSD. You would quickly find yourself disoriented and like you don't know, are you going up or are you going down? you can watch my previous video of me struggling with it. And there's actually, if you lift this up, I have Velcro here just to secure the wire. There's the speed control. It's all glue in. You know, you make sure you get one that can handle all the extra servo and, you know, the OSD, right, and really all the servo and the higher power receiver on it. So you want to go for, like, it comes with a 30 amp speed control. I swapped that out to a 70 amp Turnigy Trust speed control, and really good speed control, no problem whatsoever. And then we have a voltage sensor right here. This right here is also stuck, which actually provide the power for the OSD, the Apache OSD, and also manage the how much current is left on the battery, which is also very important when you're flying FPV. And you know, when you have like a $700 aircraft, you want to make sure you have power to come back for landing. And one of the wire here, it goes underneath the plane here, goes up through this hole here. This wire goes power to reach the transmitter. This is the video, and this is the GPS unit. You gotta make sure the GPS unit is pointing the sky. You put it up there, and it will get the signal from the satellite, and it will tell you where the coordinate is. Another great thing about OSD is the ability to record in-flight data. You see right here, there's actually like this slot right here. Not sure can you see it so well through the camera here, but you can actually put a micro SD card in there and it will record all the flight data. It's like a black box for your FPV, so you can put the coordinate onto Google Maps and plot out your flight plan. And you can also input the coordinate where your home is. You know, ultimately there's like a module, you can program it. If you lose signal, it will fly back to that coordinate. That's really what it is, right? So you go into the UAV territory, one step up from FPV, where you can plot everything on Google Maps and just throw your plane out your backyard and do its flight plan and come back, and you just pick it up from your backyard and look at the video. You know, one thing is, great thing about this OSD is, I highly recommend it, Apache. I've gone through 2 OSD. This one's better. I tried a tiny OSD, wasn't so good. It comes with like a remote control, and you see there's the infrared receiver I put in here. It connects to the OSD. I can make quick change on just before flight. You know, I can make some quick change like, hey, you know what, the temperature is a little bit cold today, so I want to make sure I adjust the temperature sensor to balance it out, or the battery is already drained. I want to key in manually how many milliamp is in the battery before the first flight. Like quick change, like display contrast, if it's a bright day, if it's a cloudy day, I can change that. Without opening up all the canopy, digging all this stuff out, there's an infrared receiver right here. I can make change. I'll see it on the goggles. Good stuff. So I'm using just the standard DX6i here, nothing special. For the video system, I'm using the FatShark goggles. So this will give me, like, basically I'm in there watching the plane flight. I like it. This is actually the Predator model. It actually has the built-in head tracker, so when you move your head, there's a gyro in there that sends a signal over. But unfortunately, it only comes with a cord for a Futaba radio, which doesn't work with Spektrum. So I guess this is a matter of time. I need to upgrade my radio to a Futaba so I can use the pan tilt, so I don't have to use the rudder and the gear channel as, you know, to move the camera around, which is a pain really. You got to keep flipping the gear switch off. Like, in order for me to go look down, I gotta flip the switch up and down. That will control it's not ideal, but you know, it's better than not having it. And you know, you want to always record your flight video. You know, I used this is pretty much, I think it's the world's smallest DVR. You know, you just basically it will just record everything that's coming in there. It actually comes with its own camera too, like a bullet cam. You know, when you go biking or snowboarding, it's also good for that. You can put it on your wrist, you know, and you can record all your flight data. Or you can just like sometime you don't want the goggle to be on you. You can just look at your wrist and you can still see the in-flight video, like what's the plane seeing, without actually putting on the goggles. Because certain time you don't want to put the goggle on. You want to be able to look at the plane and then look at the camera to make sure everything is good, and then you put the goggle on to make that transition over. So anyway, that's the quick load out. Here's some extra part comes to the OSD, and this is the USB cord. You can program the OSD, change the display setting through your computer. Very easy to use too. Most of the programming can be done through the computer, which is the preferred way to do it. Additional sensor, you can sense up to 2 other battery. Like if I end up having another battery to power the camera system, I can run this wire back to the OSD, and it will give me that voltage too. Like it will warn me, hey, the camera battery is low, and there's the motor battery is low, whatnot. There's another sensor here, so you can put 2 more battery plus the initial main battery. The OSD is able to do all that. And again, I got that from the company called Aeo. It's called Apache OSD. Good stuff. FatShark cam. Immersionrc transmitter, FatShark goggle. The DVR I got from China Vision, $100 DVR, Spektrum receiver, Parkzone Radian, Spektrum radio. That's it. That's my FPV.